The news day continues here on One News Now. I'm Jess De Los Santos. The Philippines has been placed under China's tourism blacklist over issues in the Pogo sector. Maricel Halili is with us live from Malacanang Palace in Manila to give us more details. Good afternoon, Mase. What did Malacanang say about the supposed blacklist?
Good afternoon, Jess. We asked Press Undersecretary statement of Senator Mig Zubiri, wherein the Philippines is now included in China's blacklist when it comes to the tourists who will come here in the Philippines. According to Yusek Garafil, she cannot give any comment as of now because she still has to get the official announcement or the official declaration of the Chinese government about this particular issue. And so she has to wait for more details before Malacanang can articulate their position about the matter.
Okay, meanwhile, Mase, in other news, President Bongbong Marcos has reached out to former Senator De Lima after that hostage-taking incident over the weekend. Will he in any way extend any other form of assistance to the former senator?
Yusek Garafil was very clear earlier, Jess. She said that the issue on the cases of Senator De Lima is already filed before the court. So they will just allow the court to decide whether or not to provide furlough for the senator, especially after the incident at Camp Crame recently. Yusek Garafil said the president will not in any way be involved in any cases that is actually handled by the court.
Okay, also Mase, today we are seeing, of course, another big-time oil price hike, and you have a number of transport groups already pressing the government to suspend fuel excise taxes. What's the palace's response?
This is something that they have already discussed during the cabinet meeting this morning, Jess, here in Malacanang. Yusek Garafil mentioned earlier during the press briefing that the cabinet secretaries, of course, the president, have discussed the possible options to control or at least to resolve the issue on high prices of petroleum here in the Philippines, but they will announce the possible programs and the possible options that they will implement once they have finalized it.
And Mase, of course, speaking of oil, the government announced that it will revive drilling operations at the Kadlau oil field in Palawan. Can you tell us more about this?
That's right, Jess. Malacanang earlier announced that the Department of Energy has already allowed the oil exploration and the digging of 2 wells in Kadlau. Secretary or Yusek Garafil said that this is actually a proof that the president is serious in addressing the problem on oil supply and oil prices, considering that the government is continuing to look for local sources, for possible local sources of petroleum products.
All right, thank you very much for those updates. Again, Maricel Halili reporting live from Malacanang in Manila. Now, the Court of Appeals has denied the plea of Rappler CEO Maria Ressa and former researcher Reynaldo Santos to overturn their cyber libel conviction. The CA's 4th Division ruled that the arguments raised in their motion for reconsideration were already resolved. The two were convicted back in 2020 over a Rappler article which reported on the alleged illegal activities of businessman Wilfredo Keng. In a statement, Ressa said she is disappointed but not surprised over the decision. The camp of Ressa and Santos will be elevating the case to the Supreme Court. More stories after this short break. Stay with us. You're still watching One News Now. I'm Jess De Los Santos. Vice President and Education Secretary Sara Duterte also marked her 100 days in office. She touted the resumption of in-person classes as her biggest achievement so far. Mobile journalist Jacob Lazaro with the report.
In her first day as Vice President, Sara Duterte and her office provided social services in different parts of the country.
We have initiated watershed decisions that would strengthen its mandate and will enable the office to serve more and more Filipinos across the country.
The OVP has since provided 134 million pesos in medical and burial assistance funds. Add to that the OVP's Libeling Sakay program, which has helped around 98,000 commuters in Metro Manila and in Davao. Duterte is also planning to buy the Coconut Palace in Pasay as a permanent office for future vice presidents. Aside from this, Duterte spent her first 100 days trying to strengthen the country's bilateral relationship with other countries by holding engagements with the diplomatic corps and foreign officials. But despite all these accomplishments, education spokesperson Michael Pao said Duterte was most proud of the resumption of face-to-face classes. However, the plan on having 100% face-to-face classes in November is still being reconsidered amid reports of students and teachers getting infected with COVID-19.
So, meron kaming report na ginagawa ngayon para sa Pangulong Marcos at makapagdesisyon siya kung ano po yung ways forward natin with regard to the options na binibigay natin sa ating mga eskwelahan.
The Vice President, though, met with heavy criticisms in her first 100 days in office. Such was the issue in the increase of the salary of teachers. She pointed out that the pay hike for public school teachers could be the cause for closure of more private schools. The confidential funds of the OVP and DepEd also became controversial. Duterte is asking 150 million pesos in confidential funds for the Department of Education, while 500 million pesos for the OVP. She said that she's leaving it up to Congress to decide whether her office will get to keep the confidential funds allotted in the 2023 budget. Mobile journalist Jacob Lazaro, we are One News.
Here's a quick look at today's other top stories. The Chinese government has blacklisted the Philippines as a tourist destination to prevent their nationals from getting involved in illegal Pogo activities. Gambling is illegal in China, and its government has since appealed to other countries not to host gambling operations catered to Chinese nationals. Nearly 9 out of 10 Filipinos believe that fake news is a problem in the country, according to the latest Pulse Asia survey. More than half of them believe that social media influencers and vloggers are to be blamed for the spread of misinformation. And tropical depression Maymay has maintained its strength while moving west-southwest over the Philippine Sea. Storm signal number 1 is raised over Isabela, Quirino, Nueva Vizcaya, Aurora, Nueva Ecija, and the extreme northern portion of Quezon. For more updates, visit News 5, the Philippine Star, and Business World online. Visit our website, onenews.ph, for more in-depth analysis. You can also catch One News on the Signal Play app. Register for a free account now at www.signalplay.com and stream One News live anytime, anywhere. I'm Jess De Los Santos. We are One News.